All right. Hello there, travelers, and welcome to another episode of my first time playing Morrowind. So, you probably will notice something very different already. I installed some mods. I'll leave a description. I'll leave what mods that I installed in the description. I didn't install a ton. It was 8 mods to be specific, but a few of them were rather large mods. So, it made the game look quite different. I don't think that the vanilla graphics are terrible, but I was pretty blown away when I loaded my save in between different stages of testing each mod, and then once all of the mods were installed, which kind of brings me to the title of this video about being lost in the Bitter Coast, because since everything looks so dramatically different and I did so much running around in between testing different mods and then testing all of them once they were installed, not only to test to make sure the mods themselves worked, but also to test to make sure that I got the right combination of graphics settings to work with being able to record at the same time. And so, between all that running around and how dramatically different everything looks, I got completely and utterly lost. Off camera, I did try to make it back to the Bitter Coast, that little town that I don't remember the name of, that I first came to. If you watch the last episode, what we were doing is looking for mushrooms for Azira, which is the first quest, at least I think it's the first quest of the Mages Guild. And while I was running around trying to find the very last mushroom type, I had already gotten myself pretty lost, I think, and so adding mods to it in the middle of the game and running around testing them just kind of sealed the deal. So Seraphina is hopelessly lost in the Bitter Coast, and rather than trying to find that original city that we happened across, or that tiny little town, I decided maybe it would be best to just pick a direction and stick to it, which is kind of what I've done so far. And wait, what's this over here? Okay, that looks new. So I came from that general direction, met that rather rude fellow on the bridge, and of course, as soon as I opened up the game to do one final test before I started filming, just to make sure everything was working properly, this thing attacked me. It's a Nyx Hound. It's not letting me loot it, so I don't know if that's something new from the mod. I'm guessing that that's a new creature from the mod, since that's not something I've really heard of in this game before. But anyway, it attacked me. I somehow survived, which was kind of shocking since everything else seems to kill me pretty quickly. So hopefully, maybe we aren't as lost. Okay. Let's see. So one thing that I thought the mods were supposed to fix is having actual... Okay, so I guess we have kind of readable signposts here. Maybe that's a different mod that I don't have, but I've seen others play with. I will say that one mod that I don't have is Tamriel Rebuilt. See, Caldera is that way. So for reference, we're trying to make it back to Balmora, so we can turn in these mushrooms to Azira and figure out what the heck we're supposed to do next. Sayadinine is that way. Okay, that works. Wait. Is this Sayadinine? No. Now this looks like that tiny little town. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is actually that small little town that I found when I went from Balmora to the Bitter Coast, because, yep, there's that Hyphophagia mushroom. Okay, I'm pretty sure. Let's check the map. Okay. So this is interesting because when I first loaded up my saves after the mods, none of this was appearing, and I was probably, I don't know, I think somewhere out in here. And since I am new to Morrowind, I'm, I guess, not entirely familiar with, you know, how things populate on the map compared to games like Skyrim. Let's see, local map. Okay, so we're in Hala Ode. That's the one I was trying to think of, yes. Cool, okay, so maybe we're not as lost as I thought. Let's save in case the game crashes, which, knock on wood. I noticed this even before the... Ooh, let's loot this. Anyway. Take all. Still getting used to these. Okay, as I was saying, hopefully we're not as lost as I thought we were. Let's see, and I remember talking to her when I first got here. Okay, so, I remember correctly, when I first arrived to this town, I came in through here, and I kind of skirted around this swamp, which was probably incorrect. And I see some road signs over here, so let's investigate what these say. Nope, those aren't anything that I want. Ode. I'm gonna guess this one says Balmora? No. Alright. So we have a choice here. I could either go to Sayadanin that way, or I could try to go over the hill, find that wooden bridge and the Kwama egg mine, and then make my way to Balmora that way, which is how I got here. Let's do that. Why not? And something I noticed that is different, that this mod must have changed, is that when I press my W key, I'm always running, as opposed to run, you had to hold down shift. So now, to actually walk, I have to hold down shift, which, I don't know, I guess it's kind of convenient, except for the fact that, you know, it runs my fatigue down, and because in Morrowind you walk and run, to be honest, so slow compared to other games. Like, I actually played a little bit of Skyrim the past couple days, and I felt like I was running and moving at warp speed because I've gotten more used to how slow you are in Morrowind. Okay. Yeah, so... see, I came down this way, so we need to go up this way. I think once I get on the top of this hill, I'm gonna rest until healed real quick. Okay, yeah, let's do that really quick. Oh, I can't rest when enemies are nearby. Just as I suspected, because I don't want to try to fight anything when my fatigue is kind of low like that. I mean, it's not too low. But we'll just admire this beautiful scenery. Wow, this really is different. Yeah, 'cause if I remember correctly, none of those flowers were there before the mod. None of this greenery. Yeah, none of these mushrooms or trees were here. So I really like this. Oh, and there's the mine. Wow, so I totally am not as lost as I thought. That's cool. Okay. So okay, that's the bridge, so we actually want to go this way then. I guess we can follow along the water. Well, I'm pleasantly surprised that I'm not as lost as I thought I was, but, ooh, what's that over there? I think that looks like an ancestral tomb. Yeah, we've got to go explore that. I think because Morrowind is such a new game to me, I feel like I have these really ADD moments where I have a goal in mind for the episode, but then I'm just like, ooh, what's this over here? What's that over there? So hopefully that provides some entertainment. for you all. Okay, that's nothing interesting. What is this? Okay, that is an ancestral tomb. Let's check it out. And switch my perspective. Okay. Oh, it's trapped. And it's froze? Am I paralyzed? What happened? Okay. I was like, I can't tell if the game crashed or not, which that's what I was trying to say earlier. I noticed that sometimes the game just freezes and it won't actually crash, so I will probably be saving quite often. Can I? Oh, okay, now I can go in. That was weird. Urns. What is that? A skull? Does it have any value? So I'll take one. I guess this is unlike Skyrim where you can actually find money. Bone meal? Take that. What is this? Common ring. I'm just stealing from all these dead people. Poison resistance. That's something we probably should take. Oh, that one doesn't have anything. Small chest. Ooh, now we finally find some gold. Is it over here already? Bone mold greaves. I think I'm gonna guess. Well, I guess we can always sell them. So I'm trying to make a more light armor build. Whoops. Just open a door. Oh boy. Okay. I don't know if I can sneak. I'm also not very familiar with how sneaking works in this game, since, like, I've played a little bit of Oblivion and I've played a lot of Skyrim, and at least with both of those games, when you're in sneak, you actually have that little eye that tells you whether or not you're hidden or not. And here I don't. So I have no idea if the sneak... Oh, God, no. Oh, shit. Well, I think he sees me. Can I kill a ghost? Oh, that was surprisingly easier than I thought. I wonder if any of the mods made things less difficult, because any of the other battles I've gotten into were significantly harder than that. Might be eating my words soon after that, but we'll see. More bone meal? Sure. Lock level. Of course, because I have no lockpicking skill. That makes sense. Oh. Oh, man. Okay, that's actually pretty funny. I see that. Those are the quirky little things that I actually love about Morrowind. Of course, it did say trapped, and I opened it anyway. Okay, well, never mind. Maybe we should just skedaddle on out of here. Haven't really decided if Seraphina's going to be a grave robbing type or not. So, that is something that I was planning to talk about, because I assumed I was going to spend a lot of time waltzing around through the Bitter Coast trying to get unlost. So I guess while I'm making my way back to Balmora, I can just take a nice leisurely stroll, enjoy the nice modded scenery. And anyway, so I'm not entirely sure how much longer I'm going to be playing this particular character, and if you've been following me since day one of this series, you're probably thinking, what are you talking about, Quirky? Because you're literally on episode 5. Are you already bored with this character? And the answer is not necessarily. I, for some reason, decided that I wanted to make this character based off of my Elder Scrolls Online character. And looking back, I have no idea why I thought that was a good idea. I think I was more concerned with just kind of being a little bit camera shy at the fact that this is the first time I've actually ever filmed gameplay. I have played lots of games, but it's kind of another story when you're actually filming yourself playing them. And I thought that maybe making a character that I'm already playing would have been a good idea, but what I neglected to think about is the fact that Elder Scrolls Online, the timeline that it takes place in, is much earlier than Morrowind, and I haven't played Seraphina in Elder Scrolls Online very much either. And I'm the type of person that I really like to come up with a pretty elaborate backstory and overall character development for my... Oh, this is deeper than I thought. Overall character development, almost like I'm writing a book. And, I just really like the whole storytelling bit, so trying to do that for a character that I don't even know what Seraphina would have been doing in Elder Scrolls Online, so kind of trying to jump ahead without having that backstory is proving to be really difficult, so it's kind of hard for me to get attached to this character. And anytime it comes to creating or trying to make decisions like, what armor should I buy? Should I be unarmored? Should I be light armor? What type of spells should I use? Should I use any weapons at all? And all of that kind of stuff. It just makes it really difficult for me to answer any of those questions. So that's why I'm thinking of just kind of using Seraphina right now as a way for me to learn how to play Morrowind better, since, some of the controls, and I guess not necessarily the controls, but just the way you go about playing the game in general is a lot different than what I'm used to. I think there's a lot more elements and mechanics to this game than Skyrim, which is, again, what I'm used to playing. So I can use this character as a way to just get used to all that. And in the meantime, I actually have a character idea that I'm really excited about. It's one thing that I'm also working on is Coursera's IT certification. That doesn't seem like a place where there should be grass. Anyway. So yeah, I'm working on that, and the first part of the course was talking about the... Oh, here's the Mage's Guild. Was talking about doing the history.
What do you want?
And something that I thought was really interesting was going over kind of the history of computers and talking specifically about the difference engine and the analytical engine, which were essentially precursors to computers, which really they were just glorified mechanical calculators. But you may be wondering, what in the heck does that have to do with Elder Scrolls? And basically what that has to do with it is that I'm really interested in history type things, even though that's not what I studied in college. But it's always something that has interested me, especially history of technology type things. And so I've also been fascinated with the Elder Scrolls and the Dwemer. And I've always wanted to do a playthrough that incorporated the doing something with the Dwemer and making some kind of a character that maybe is really obsessed with dwarven artifacts and kind of like an engineer type playthrough, but something a little bit more unique to it. And so what I've decided that I want my next character to be is kind kind of a combination of Charles Babbage, which was the creator of the difference engine and the analytical engine, and Ada Lovelace, who was the person that invented a computer language, essentially. And those two together really revolutionized computers as we know them now. It was their brainchild together that made that happen. And so I'm reading some books right now on Ada Lovelace, really trying to understand the character development of, I guess, what kind of personality Ada has and how to fit that in between making a character that is kind of historically accurate to her and maybe a little bit of Charles Babbage thrown in. Kind of depends. I wasn't sure how much of the mechanical interest that Ada had, and I definitely want my Morrowind character to have that mechanical interest for the whole story playthrough to make sense. But trying to combine that real world, our history, with the Elder Scrolls lore. So it's something that's going to take me a little bit of time to actually get done and get it started right. So, yeah. Basically, what I'm saying is that I'm going to use this character just as a way to get used to playing, but my intention is once I have that new character fleshed out, I want to do a more roleplay style playthrough where instead of, babbling on like I'm doing right
Hello,
now,
Outlander.
I'm fully in character
I hope you won't take too much of my
and
time.
I guess doing a full-on roleplay. So
I
stay
suppose I
tuned
have
for
a
that.
moment. What is it?